Daoism is known for Taiji symbol. However, did you know that Daoism has 8 profound yet less known symbols? Today, we will introduce you to the An Baxian. An Baxian originates from the Baxian, where Baxian means 8 immortals, and An means hidden. So it's the Hidden Eight Immortals symbol. It's Hidden Baxian because it refers to the 8 magical cultivated tools owned by each immortals. Each tool has its culture and contains Taoist belief and philosophy. So they each represent its immortal owners. An Baxian is also a popular decorative pattern on porcelain in Qing dynasty. The tool and the related immortals are the Chun Yang Sword, which is owned by Lyu Dongbin, the banana leaf fan, which is owned by Han Zhongli, the Jade tablet, which is owned by Guojiu, the lotus, which is owned by He Xiangu, the fish drum, which is owned by Zhang Guolao, the golden purple flute, which is owned by Han Xiangzi, the flower basket, which is owned by Lan Caihe, the gourd, which is owned by Tie Guai Li. Each tool carries auspicious meaning similar to the immortals themselves, each symbolizing one ideal and pursuit of Daoism. Meanwhile, apart from the tools, the 8 immortals themselves also symbolize Daoist beliefs in equality in cultivation. Before becoming the immortals, as mortal person, they also have very diverse background. Becoming immortals is not easy, so it's not surprise that privileged person might have more chance. But what's so interesting about Baxian is that many of them was from less privileged background. For example, beggars, the disabled, wanderers, and women. This diversity represents a phrase in China, 男女老少,富贵贫贱, which means men and women, old and young, rich and poor, noble and lowly. This is a microcosm of all walks of life. Daoism teaches that anyone could achieve Taoist transcendence, regardless of lineage, social classes, or gender, promoting an inclusive and comprehensive view of cultivation. So let's now start to learn about each Taoist symbol and the related immortal. The first Taoist symbol is the Chun Yang Sword, or the Pure Yang Sword, which is Lyu Dongbin's magical cultivated tool. In the men and women, old and young, rich and poor, noble and lowly, Lyu Dongbin represents men. In Taoist belief system, the sword is a symbol of wisdom. It represents the ability to cut through ignorance and delusion, striving for a higher state of being. The sword can eliminate demons, defeat enemies, and dispel illusions, symbolizing both external and internal battles. The immortal Lyu Dongbin, a historical figure respected as the Taoist master, is famous for his wisdom and mastery of the sword. Known as Chun Yangzi, or Pure Yangzi, he is one of the founders of the internal alchemy in Daoism. Lyu Dongbin studied under Zhongli Quan and later passed on his teachings to Liu Haichan and Wang Chongyang, becoming one of the 5 northern patriarchs of the Chunzhen sect and the patriarch of the southern school of internal alchemy. A famous story about Lyu Dongbin is Zhongli Quan's 10 trials of Lyu Dongbin. The first trial is the trial of kingship. Upon returning home, Lyu Dongbin found his family dead from illness. He showed no regret, only prepared burial. Shortly after, they all revived unharmed. The second trial is the trial of gain and loss. When Lyu Dongbin selling goods at the market, the agreed price was suddenly halved by the buyer. Lyu Dongbin calmly accepted the lower price. The third trial is the trial of honor and disgrace. On New Year's Day, a beggar insulted him while demanding for money. Lyu Dongbin responded with a smile and gave him even more. The fourth trial is the trial of compassion. While herding sheep, a tiger attacked. Lyu Dongbin shielded the sheep with his body, and tiger retreated. The fifth trial is the trial of lust. A beautiful woman, lost and seeking rest, attempted to seduce Lyu Dongbin. He remained unmoved. The sixth trial is the trial of wealth. Returning home to find all his wealth stolen, Lyu Dongbin was not disturbed and continued to farm. He discovered gold bars but left them untouched. The seventh trial is the trial of integrity. After buying bronze items that turned out to be gold, Lyu Dongbin returned them to the seller. The eighth trial is the trial of resolve. Drinking a potion sold by a mad Daoist claiming it would cause death and rebirth into Tao, Lyu Dongbin took it without fear and survived. The ninth trial is the trial of calmness. Crossing a flooded river, Lyu Dongbin remained calm amidst the panicking crowd. The 10th trial, which is the final trial, is a trial of spiritual endurance. Sitting alone, surrounded by demons, Lyu Dongbin remained fearless. His master, Zhongli Quan, praised him for passing all trials and starting teaching him Daoist cultivation. These trials highlights the unshaken mind a cultivator needs to have on their way to the Tao. The second Daoist symbol we introduce is the banana leaf fan, which is Han Zhongli's magical cultivated tool. In the representation of men and women, old and young, rich and poor, noble and lowly, Han Zhongli represents the poor. The banana leaf fan symbolizes the Daoist pursuit of carefree freedom, or Xiao Yao, an ideal from Zhuangzi's teaching. Han Zhongli's fan is said to extinguish fire when being fanned at fire, and calm the wind when being fanned at the wind. It represents extinguishing the flames of the six desires and blowing away the barrier of worry, bringing a state of serene and carefree mind. The immortal Han Zhongli also embodies the spirit of carefree freedom. Originally a general, Han Zhongli abandoned his wealth and status to pursue the Tao and become an immortal. He is often depicted with a bare chest, having childlike pigtails, wearing simple clothing, and holding a fan, reflecting his detachment from material wealth and social norms. However, this is very unusual for an adult man. In ancient China, men underwent a coming-of-age ceremony called the crowning ceremony, where their scattered hair was tied into a top knot and adorned with a crown, symbolizing their transition into adulthood, social responsibility, and adherence to societal roles. However, Han Zhongli is commonly portrayed with two pigtails, a hairstyle typical of children, symbolizing his rejection of societal constraints and his pursuit of a carefree, childlike existence. According to complete biographies of immortals, or 列仙全传, Han Zhongli was a native of Yan, known as Master Yunfang. He served as a great general during the Han Dynasty. During a campaign against the Western Chang, due to the jealousy of his superior Liangji, he was given only 30,000 old and weak soldiers. Upon arrival, his camp was attacked by Chang army and his soldiers scattered. Lost, he encountered a foreign monk who led him to a small village, saying, "This is the residence of Master Donghua." Shortly after, the monk disappeared, and Han Zhongli heard someone said, "This must be the work of the talkative blue-eyed monk." Then suddenly, he saw a man draped in white deerskin, holding a green staff, who asked, "Are you the great General Han Zhongli?" Han Zhongli was astonished, realizing he had met an extraordinary person, and sincerely began learning the Tao. Later, Han Zhongli met immortal Wan Shunfu and Huayang Zhengren, from whom he learned the secret of eternal life, from whom he learned the Tai 9 regulations, fire talisman, golden elixir, and the profound mysteries of Tao. Eventually, he attained the Jade casket secrets on Mount Kongtong, becoming an immortal. He often referred to himself as the most leisurely person under heaven, symbolizing his ultimate carefree and leisurely life. He's also the teacher of Lyu Dongbin, being named as one of the North Five Patriarchs of the Chun Yang sect, known as the Patriarch Zheng Yang.